I'm Reveena and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make banoffee pie. It's a typically British dessert. It's graham cracker crust with caramel and bananas and whipped cream and a little bit of chocolate. It's outrageous. In an interview a few years ago, Benedict Cumberbatch said that it was his favorite dessert, and I'm a huge fan of his, so as soon as I saw him say that, I Googled banoffee pie and have honestly been making it for years. And it's his birthday, I believe, July 19th. He's turning 38, so very happy birthday, Benedict. So let's get started on the crust because it has to go in the freezer and chill. I've got 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, and you can either buy them already processed into crumbs or like the whole graham crackers, or you can also use tea biscuits or digestive biscuits, whatever you want. The crumbs actually keep really well in the freezer, which is a nice trick. If not, they go stale fairly quickly. And here I've got 3 ounces of melted chocolate chips, along with 1/3 cup of butter, which I just melted over some simmering water. Make sure to get out every last drop, and now I'm just gonna mix this together really well, and then put it into my pie pan. I'm just gonna pop this into the freezer while I make the caramel. It's time to get going on the caramel. I know a lot of people are scared, but it's genuinely easy. The only secret is that you need to have all your ingredients ready, like it's a cooking show. So we have 2 cups of sugar. I've got 2/3 cup of cream with a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste, or you take 1 vanilla bean, cut it in half, scrape the seeds out, and put the seeds as well as the pod into the cream. So you take your mix, bring it to a simmer, and then pour it into a measuring cup so that it'll be really easy to pour out when it's time. And we need 1/3 cup of butter, and you need it really, really soft, but not at the stage where you have oil leaking out of it, because that will cause your caramel to split. We're also going to need a little pinch of sea salt at the end, and of course, to start the recipe off, we're going to need glucose, or in this case, corn syrup. And when it swirls really, really easily and it's not sticky anymore, that's when it's time to add the sugar. So we're going to start off, and we're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. And once the sugar starts to dissolve into the glucose, then you add another 1/2 cup. You want this over a relatively low heat, like low medium, and this isn't something that you want to stir. If too much of the glucose and sugar starts sticking to the edges, you can take a spatula and very gently scrape down, but you really don't want to stir, or else the sugar will crystallize and it'll give the caramel a really weird texture. When the sugar is almost completely dissolved like this, we're going to add another 1/2 cup. Another 1/2 cup. Once we add in our last 1/2 cup of sugar, I'm going to stick in a candy thermometer and wait for it to come to 300 degrees. You can do this by eye. I find it more stressful, and a candy thermometer is between $8 and $15, so worth the investment, in my opinion. Caramel looks perfect. I got it exactly to 300 degrees. Now immediately, you want to add the butter, little by little, and this will immediately lower the temperature and stop the caramel from burning. You have to stir it the entire time you're doing this. It kind of bubbles up and looks like a Halloween monster. And now, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring, and slowly add the cream. Very, very slowly. And it's normal that this bubbles up and goes a little bit crazy. And you'll end up with quite a liquid caramel, but as it cools, it will kind of set. Right before it does, I want to add a good pinch of sea salt. So I'm going to pour most of this over the bananas, but I'm going to leave a little bit back to just kind of decorate the top. Now that looks outstanding, and this is just going to go into the fridge to cool, and when it has cooled, I'll get going on the whipped cream topping and the final decorating. I'm working on the topping for my banoffee pie, so I whipped up 2.5 cups of cream, and I'm just going to add a little bit of vanilla bean paste. And then our final addition is 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And you could cut them up, chop them up if you wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary because the texture is really, really pleasant in contrast with the bananas and the caramel. So just fold your chocolate chips in, and then I've got my gorgeous, gorgeous pie over here. I'm going to spoon my whipped cream right on top, and I'm not sweetening the whipped cream. And you see, it was really important to let the bananas and caramel sit. If not, when you did this, everything would just kind of overflow. Now that that's done, I'm just taking my remaining caramel, which I put aside, and it hardens as you leave it out on the counter, so I stuck it in the microwave for 20 seconds. And now it's nice and loose, and I'm just gonna do ribbons over my pie. My pie is finished. It looks amazing, and I'm going to stick this in the fridge, and I'm not going to cut into it now because I'm having friends over and we're all going to get to devour it later. But Benedict, I wish you a very happy birthday, and I hope you try this recipe. And to everybody else, not happy birthday, but I hope you still try this recipe. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I think sexuality is fluid.